Hey guys, and welcome to my channel For The Watch. It's your girl, Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Today we are going over the latest episode of From Season 3, episode number 8, called Threshold. Okay, so guys, let's do a quick recap of this episode, right? I like to apologize that I don't have theories when it comes to this show, simply because I don't have time to take a deep dive, which would consist of going back to watch prior seasons, right? I'd love to do that, guys, but I just can't right now. All right, so let's get into what took place in this episode. So the episode starts off with Boyd leading Fatima out into the woods to hide away in a shack. Boyd tells her that she needs to stay there until they figure this thing out. He lets her know that she is his family, so he has her back. He also left her with some rotten food to eat, in case she gets hungry. Oh my gosh, I really felt bad for her once again, guys, because this is happy Fatima, okay? And she feels horrible about deleting Tilly. She really doesn't know what's happening to her, but she knows something is taking over her mind, right? She also asks Boyd what they're going to do about Tilly's body, and Boyd tells her that they're going to let someone find Tilly's body. And of course, Fatima felt really bad about that as well. So Boyd leaves Fatima, and then he goes to Ellis and he gives him the game plan and an alibi. So meanwhile, someone finds Tilly's body and they tell Boyd about it, who just so happened to be coming up the road with Ellis. So of course, Boyd had to pretend like he doesn't know anything, and he tells Acosta and Kenny to start questioning people. Unfortunately, poor Sarah is the first suspect, okay? But Boyd wants to be sure that he's going to be there with Kenny to question her. Meanwhile, Victor is having a meltdown in Sarah's basement because Jasper won't talk to him. This causes Sarah to go to Jim's house to get Tabitha because Victor was asking for her. We'll get back to that soon, guys. So let's move on to Jim, who leaves the house after Julie finally gets home. He lets her know that Ethan is in his room, so she needs to look after him. So Julie takes this time to do something very irresponsible, which is to go back to the site, what I like to call the arched stones, okay? And she brings Ethan with her, okay? Now, this was extremely bothersome to me because in an earlier scene, she suggested to Randall that they should probably go back there. And I appreciated Randall's answer because it made lots of sense to me, right? If something makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up, then that's usually an indication to get the heck out of Dodge. Okay? Then he gives her a final warning by telling her to stay the heck away from that place. So this is why I was so pissed about Julie going back to that place, right? But also bringing her little brother with her was extremely careless in my opinion. Now, thankfully, it sort of worked out in her favor because the forces that be only seemed interested in Julie, leaving Ethan there to witness his sister seizing and stuff. So as Ethan goes to get help, we see Julie experiencing some pretty interesting encounters. She sees the old man Martin, who transferred the worms into Boyd's arm, right? She also dropped the rope down the chimney that Boyd was stuck in. She also hears her mother and Victor going through the tunnels. Now, I'm not sure what to make of this, guys, but as I said before, I have no theories for this show. Once they start doing this time travel stuff or whatever the heck this is supposed to be, this sci-fi stuff, you lost me, okay? It's giving the Hodor effect, and I'll just leave it at that, all right? Next, Jim decides to go to the bar to tell Jade to stay away from Tabitha because he's filling her head with nonsense. Jade tells Jim that Tabitha is a grown woman, and at least I'm trying to do something to get us out of here, right? I mean, you guys heard the interaction, right? It was wonderful to me because I really hated the fact that Jim was coming at Jade like that. And I love how Jade stuck up for himself and he's like, listen, bro, get the heck up out of my face. At least out of the two of us, I'm the one actually trying to do something to help people get out of here. But Jim wants to try to call Jade selfish and you're a lonely man. And, just hurling all these insults at him that just really don't seem warranted in my opinion. But like I said, I loved how Jade stuck up for himself. And he's like, listen, if you have an issue with your grown wife, you need to go talk to her and leave me out of it, okay? And we are done here. And he left him right there, okay? Now, Henry was there listening to the confrontation between Jim and Jade. And Henry takes this time to give Jim some unsolicited advice by telling him to shut the freak up the next time his wife tries to tell him something. He tells Jim that he sees so much of himself in Jim. So at this point, guys, Henry is just trying to get Jim not to make the same mistake he made with his wife Miranda. Before Jim came into the bar, Henry told Jade that he wished he would have listened to his wife. And I like how Henry pointed out to Jim that while he's calling Jade selfish, Jim is actually pretty selfish himself, because all this talk about trying to protect your family is really because you're scared and you're doing it for yourself, okay? All right, so next, Donna comes to the station to tell Boyd that folks are ready to mob up and go after Sarah with pitchforks. So that's when Boyd tells Donna that it was Fatima. So as much as Donna says she cares for Fatima, she wants to tell everyone at Colony House that she was the one that did it. So guys, before I forget, I do want to mention that before Donna came in, Boyd was telling Ellis how he doesn't trust sending him out into the woods to be with Fatima because she can harm him as well. And I totally get where Boyd is coming from because that's his son, you know, but I also understand Ellis wanted to be with his wife. You know, there were a lot of ethical dilemmas going on in this episode, which was very interesting. So it was kind of hard for me to choose the side of right. You know what I mean? Next, Tabitha and Sarah continue to ask Victor questions to help jog his memory about what Jasper said to Christopher. Eventually, Victor remembers that Jasper wasn't talking to Christopher in a home basement or a house basement. It was actually in the basement of the church, okay? Then Victor finally remembers that it wasn't Jasper telling Christopher the stories, it was the boy in white. So Victor starts remembering everything the boy in white said about the children and how to leave this place. So long story short, the boy in white tells Christopher that he has to go through one of the trees to help save everyone or save the children, right? But Christopher gets angry and he doesn't listen. So Victor goes and tells his mom, and that's why she left and he never saw her again. So guys, the children continue to be a huge piece of the puzzle of how to get out of Fromville, right? But exactly what needs to be done, you know? Victor says that the children were born in the dark and then murdered in the dark by people that they trusted, right? So what does all of this mean though? Next, Donna tells Boyd that they need to bring Fatima back. She tells him that it won't turn out well if people find out that he hid this thing from them, which I totally agree, right? But what's the plan here? You know what I'm saying? Do we bring Fatima back and have her executed? Because I don't think that's the best solution either, you know. But Boyd seems to think that people will understand the way they did with Sarah. But Donna tells Boyd that people didn't understand. They accepted it and they let it go because he told them to do so, right? So Boyd says, okay, I'll tell them to do it again. But Donna says it's not going to work this time because people don't believe in you anymore, or at least not the way they used to believe in you, right? But a part of me wonders if Donna was speaking for herself. You know what I'm saying? Then again, after the way that whole town hall meeting went, she might be right. People are not really believing in Boyd anymore. But I don't feel like that's his fault. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, guys, Boyd tells Donna that Ellis and Fatima can stay with him and they'll watch her. But nothing they say can persuade Donna, guys, all right? She tells Boyd that if he doesn't tell the people, she will. And like I said, guys, this is a very difficult dilemma and it's hard for me to weigh in. But I kind of feel like Donna owes Boyd a favor or two, especially since he deleted his own wife to save Donna's life, you know? But hey, who am I? Anyway, guys, throughout this episode, we see Elgin's Polaroid just snapping away, okay? So by now, we have seen that the pictures are letting Elgin know where he should go or what he should do next. The pictures led him to the shed that Fatima was hiding away in. He tells Fatima to follow him and that Ellis is waiting for him. I definitely didn't like that he lied to her, but I guess it was the only way. I mean, I don't know. At this point in time, guys, Fatima is so afraid and I almost can't even think about what Elgin could have told her in order to get her to go to that place. I really don't, because I just feel like she wouldn't trust anyone but Ellis or Boyd. You know what I mean? So anyway, guys, long story short, we saw what happened, right? He takes Fatima to the secret room, but of course she doesn't want to stay because Ellis isn't there. Elgin then tells Fatima that she has to stay because it's the only way the baby can be safe, right? Fatima says there is no baby, and Elgin says yes there is. It's just not yours, okay? So Fatima tries to run, and Elgin has to become forceful with her and carry her back to the room. So now we see that Fatima really is pregnant, guys, and Elgin is following the clues given by the camera and whatever guidance he's getting from the dead woman, right? But with all that being said, I'm still a bit lost, all right? Is Fatima's baby the way to freeing the other children? Is it like another chance to redeem the horrible things done to the children? Will Fatima's love for the child be able to save the other children and everyone else in Fromville? You know? And why was Elgin's blood needed? Okay? There are still so many questions, guys. But we might actually be getting somewhere, okay? Now, Elgin tells Fatima that the baby isn't hers, so maybe her womb is just the vessel for this baby who is meant to save everyone, right? Maybe the baby belongs to the dead woman in the kimono. We did see her in the picture standing behind Fatima, right? That picture that Elgin took of her. We saw the dead woman in the kimono standing behind Fatima. And maybe that was just another clue for him to know that Fatima was the one that he had to go to. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, guys. But I do hope that Elgin will eventually tell Boyd and Ellis what's going on. But who knows how that will work out, you know? I just feel like everyone needs to just have like this daytime bonfire and share stories about how this place has been affecting them. Because the more secrets that people keep, the less people will understand, and the more mistrust is going to take place, the more, I believe, chaos and unrest is going to come, and there's going to be a real issue in trying to keep people civil. I think eventually people might start taking matters into their own hands, okay? If Boyd can no longer control the town, and Donna is also possibly losing control, this is not good, okay? So, I mean, maybe they need to start having more consequences for people that get out of hand or get out of line or whatever. But I just know that they need to get a handle on this stuff, and people need to start just, you know, coming forward, like I said, right? Folks need to know that the night creatures aren't the only threat in Fromville. And that's all I have for you guys today, all right? Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Until next time, take care and be blessed. Bye-bye.